So The Mandalorian Episode 3, The Sin, is now out on Disney+. I just watched it, and I'll tell you what, regardless of what you think about Star Wars Disney and some of the issues they had, obviously, with The Last Jedi and potentially with The Rise of Skywalker, this shows you they can still do a great show because it keeps getting better and better. And this video is brought to you by my great Patreons. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate the continued support. And really quickly, let me thank Lo Horton. You guys keep this channel going as we try to figure out this new YouTube algorithm. Anyway, guys, I want to jump right into The Mandalorian Episode 3, The Sun. Really, really good episode this time. The last one was a little bit slow, but it was kind of doing what it's supposed to do, kind of letting you know bounty hunting is not, all glamorous all the time. But it starts off, we know, with the Baby Yoda scene as he's coming back to his planet there. I'm not even sure the planet name still. It's a Tatooine-like planet, I guess, but I don't think they've actually named this planet to my knowledge. If I missed that somehow, please let me know in the comments if they've named this planet that he's basically operating off of, which I don't think after this episode he will be anymore. So that's a good thing. We get a little change of scenery, not all the desert planets and stuff that we always see throughout Star Wars. But Baby Yoda, I think everybody in the world is in love with Baby Yoda. And again, we're calling this creature Baby Yoda because we don't have its name. We don't know if it's a girl. We just know it's the Yoda species. And so we're all referring to it as Baby Yoda. And of course, being force sensitive, as we all kind of suspected in the previous episodes when we first saw Baby Yoda being the first bounty. Since we've only seen Yoda and Yaddle, we've all thought, they're probably all force sensitive, whatever this species is. And that's going to play a huge role in this story, I believe. Obviously, is something special about it. The Mandalorian doesn't quite understand it. I don't quite get why he doesn't understand it, or at least have an idea of what this is as far as force sensitivity when he saw Baby Yoda handle the Rhino Bull in the last episode. But, at this point, the Jedi were kind of legends. People didn't even know that the Emperor was a Sith Lord or whatever. So it was only a handful of people, I guess, in the era that knew about force sensitivity and Jedi and Sith and all that. So at this time, they're becoming a legend, as was mentioned in The Force Awakens, when Rey didn't, think that Luke Skywalker was even a real person, just more of a legend. So I guess that explains a little bit of it. But the Mandalorian culture itself, as we learn more about it, They have a history with the Jedi as well, which is a reason Beskar steel is so important to them. It is lightsaber resistant. Anyway, still love the opening scene. We have Baby Yoda trying to eat the ship. Apparently she or he is hungry, pulls off the little gear shift or whatever, and that would come back into play as well. You can see the Mandalorian really didn't want to turn this bounty in. I mean, he felt like he had to do it. It was the Mandalorian Code, the Bounty Hunter Code for that matter. But you could tell he was thinking about what's going on and why does everybody want this. There were several other fobs given out to other bounty hunters because this Imperial Moff, this former Imperial Moff, wanted to make sure this bounty got collected, dead or alive, in one way or the other. The remnants of the Empire and all that kind of stuff. People were after these force-sensitive children all around the galaxy or whatever because they became Inquisitors. So I'm not sure exactly where that fits in, but it's something to do with that. It could have something to do with Snoke, for that matter, as they introduce him, because he's somewhere in this timeline building up the First Order or whatever after the Empire has fallen. And I guess we'll learn more about that supposedly in Rise of Skywalker, we'll see. But as far as the Mandalorian, he does turn Baby Yoda in, but he's like, starting to ask questions, which is against the code. It's not normal for a bounty hunter or a Mandalorian to, turn in the bounty, receive his pay, and then start asking questions. That's not his job. So that was something they really wanted to hammer home as far as him, breaking the code. But he wanted to do the right thing. He knew it was in danger likely. He had kind of fallen for Baby Yoda like all the rest of us. So really digging that. And I really like how he hasn't taken his helmet off yet, Pedro Pascal, who plays the Mandalorian. But you can see with his, just his gestures and stuff, he's showing concern for Baby Yoda. So I really think that's cool. I think at some point we will see him taking his helmet off. I would guess, again, we talked about on the live stream a little bit Sunday. I'm going to guess in episode 8, he'll take his helmet off and we'll see his face as we learn more about his backstory, and maybe he goes back home, wherever that was, because obviously he was a foundling who became a Mandalorian, so he was like a refugee taken in by the Mandalorians. I think we'll find that out as well. We got some more flashbacks as well when he went to the blacksmith, who is basically the leader of this little guild or their tribe or whatever, where they're hiding out. And I can tell you right now, when we see her get down, she's going to be a badass. So it's really cool in this culture how the blacksmith is kind of the leader of the clan in a sense. So I thought that was really cool when he turns into Beskar Steel. It's going to do them a lot of good. I mean, they're super rich now because this stuff is more valuable than gold in this galaxy at this time. And then this other Mandalorian challenges him, and it's a standoff, and she's just like, it's kind of a normal thing. This happens all the time, apparently. So they're going to keep teasing us with this, backstory of his and how he became a Mandalorian. We did see an Imperial droid at that last part when he was a little kid, and they opened up the bunker, and there was an Imperial droid standing there. So we're going to get more information on that. Obviously, they'll keep teasing it and building up. And I really like the idea where he turns in a bounty and he gets, this steel, and he gets more armor as they go. So that was the idea in the beginning, was the Mandalorians build their armor as they go. And now, of course, with all this Beskar, he has a full new set of armor of Beskar steel, and he walks back in to get another bounty because he's just like ready to work all the time. He could retire off this, and that's what Carl Weathers' character, the bounty hunter guild leader, he was like, just take a vacation, man. But he was like, nah, I need my next job. So it's like, he's nonstop. He's hardcore. He could just retire for the rest of his life on the money he made from this one particular bounty. But he has a conscience, and that's what I really dig about it. So he was worried about Baby Yoda the entire time. They went a lot more into the Mandalorian culture. This is the way. That was the thing they said. Even after the guy challenged him, she basically says, this is our way. He's a warrior. He can't be a coward if he signed up for this type of life. So I thought that was really cool, kind of diving into more of their culture, and we'll learn a lot more about that as well. And then I thought it was really cool that she made these little whistle birds on his new Beskar bracers. And of course, I was thinking, are we going to get to see those? I know we will at some point, but I thought it would be later down the road. But he used them on all the stormtroopers when he was escaping with Baby Yoda, because he did, break down and say, you know what? I'm going to go rescue this child. They're going to kill it. There's something going on here. I feel bad for it. It was really cool for the character because he was in a conundrum. He on one hand, he was doing what he's supposed to do as a Mandalorian, as a bounty hunter. He has this code. This is the way type thing. But then he goes and steals back the bounty and kept the money. So he did the right thing in the sense of trying to rescue Baby Yoda. He knew something bad was going to happen. I mean, nothing good can come from this type of thing, obviously. But he broke his code, so that's going to be a thing. But what was really cool in the end was when he's in the shootout with all the other bounty hunters, because I thought that was interesting. As soon as he stole Baby Yoda, all the other fobs handed out to all these other bounty hunters went off immediately, so they all knew that Baby Yoda had been stolen. So I'm not sure exactly how that technology works. Once it's turned in or whatever, how does this bio tracker still work? And how do they know just because it leaves its location or whatever, why would it be reactivated? So maybe it took somebody to manually flip a switch or something, but I don't think so. I think that was an automatic thing. They all come after him in the end, trying to escape with Baby Yoda to his ship. And all the Mandalorians come to the rescue after their issues before in the previous scene. They all come in with their jetpacks and shit, and that was just badass. They come in and say, get out of here, we'll cover you. This is the way. So even though they got in a fight and all that kind of stuff, ultimately they have each other's backs, and I thought that was really cool. I really dug the scene when he got in his ship before he decided to go rescue Baby Yoda, where he goes to pull his, gear shift or whatever in the hell it is on his ship, and he sees the little ball missing on top, and it reminds him of Baby Yoda, and that's what made him say, you know what? Fuck this. And he turns off his ship and he goes back, and that's when he breaks in, kills all the stormtroopers, because these are all just warlords at this point. They're not really the Empire anymore, but they're all separate warlords battling for the power in the galaxy, the vacuum left by the fall of the Empire. And this Baby Yoda would have given him a lot of power in that sense because he had a Force-sensitive child. The doctor thing was interesting. He had this doctor here. He was doing some kind of scan. It reminded me of some kind of DNA scan is what it looked like to me. That's the way I took it anyway. So again, it's something to do with Baby Yoda's Force sensitivity. And that scan, I'm thinking maybe had something to do with cloning technology. Maybe they're going to sell the scan, the bioscan of the baby, sell it to somebody else, the highest bidder. Maybe it's Palpatine out there somewhere. Maybe it's Snoke. Maybe it's someone else out there in the galaxy we're not aware of yet. But either way, this Moff is looking to get rich off of this scan. Otherwise, he would have just had Baby Yoda killed, or had the bounty say specifically, bring it in dead, kill it, and just show me proof or whatever. So they're trying to get something out of it, which is more money and more power. So anyway, in the end, he does leave the planet. He does tell the other Mandalorian, we'll have to move our tribe, our little hideout, our headquarters, whatever. And he says, this is the way. He's got his back either way. And then he says, when they have all the jetpacks, and he flies up and kind of gives him the old salute, we got your back type thing. He says, I got to get me one of those. So he's going to get him one of those for damn sure. I guarantee you we're going to see him in the classic Boba Fett style jetpack. The Mandalorian jetpack, that's a huge thing in the Mandalorian universe. And as he graduates into higher ranks of being a Mandalorian, we're going to see him with one of those jetpacks, and maybe even the big missile on the back that Boba Fett had as well. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. I really dug this episode. It keeps getting better and better in my opinion. They're sticking to the character-based, the character-driven story, and that's what makes this so good. So it does show you that with Disney running Star Wars now, they can put out a good product, and people can love that product. So hopefully this helps, heal the divide in this fandom a little bit and get people understanding that we just want good stories with good characters. We don't care about all the politics. We don't care about genders and races and all that stuff. Star Wars is the biggest diverse universe in any fandom that I'm aware of. You're talking about aliens and races from all over the place, all over the galaxy, and that's what's cool about it. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below, and we will see you Sunday on the live stream talking about episode 3. And as usual, thank you for all the support, especially you guys on Patreon, and a huge shout out to my executive Patreon SmokeScreen producers. And if you dig what I do here, please give these videos a like, comment, and a share. And of course, if you would like to, be sure to subscribe to get everything and click that notification bell so you're notified when I drop a new video. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.